One. So welcome everyone. As you may know me, I'm Penny Kroll, one of the Master Meta Health Trainers. And I have with me today the fabulous John Robson. I nearly forgot your name. No, I didn't. However, this would be interesting, wouldn't it? Because what John's going to be talking about, and we're going to be having a bit of a fun chat, is constellations. Now, me forgetting John's name, could that be a constellation, John?
Sure, a bit of, yeah.
I love that. So what is a constellation, John? I'll let you, because you're going to be running a 2-day workshop. And so far, every time I've trained, I've only put in a half a day in a 6-month training package. But constellations are so much more.
Right, they're massive, and yeah, a lot of people are challenged with them and understanding them and everything. So I thought, yeah, it'd be a good idea to do a 2-day deep dive on constellations, and even that we might want to go even further. So we'll see, we might do that. But yeah, so it was really cool because we came up with this idea for me to come and do a constellation deep dive program with you, and then obviously we sent out just an initial email, just letting people know. This is coming, and it was really beautiful because right away the survey started to get filled up with questions, and there've been some really amazing questions that have been coming through that are sort of helping to sort of refine the program and everything. And it's really good to sort of see what people are asking, because for the most part people are asking sort of 3 main things. So they're asking like technical questions around like how do they work, like what is a constellation, like you said there, what is a constellation, what are the different kinds of constellations, what are the stress triggers and organs and tissues that are related to constellations, and then they've been asking sort of the more, what's the difference between left and right wide males and females, and all that sort of stuff, getting all confused. And then the next question is they've been asking really philosophical questions. In that it's like, what's the meaning of constellations? Like, how can we use this wisdom and information that we're learning to kind of understand how to get the best out of our peoples, like how to help them to come to their truth and to express themselves. And what's the meaning for me, as a practitioner and as an individual, others, my clients, and everyone, like the whole world, if you like, of understanding constellations more deeply and knowing how to release them. That was awesome. And then the third sort of category of questions were kind of really practical, which is, it was like the theoretical was like the what, the sort of philosophical was more like the why and the what if, like how do we use this in the future, and the practical ones were more like the how. So like, tell me case studies, I really want to know case studies. I really want to know how this works in practice. So yeah.
And it is great because I've been on quite a few constellation workshops, and the way my brain works is that I get confused in a workshop when people actually, and I train this, but people, I think, confuse it even more. And what you're brilliant at, John, is simplifying things. And for me, the constellations, can I just share with you how they've helped me in my life?
Absolutely. Yeah, love to.
Because for me, and you've helped me out with a couple of my own constellations, like me getting vertigo on the top in Cape Town on the famous tabletop mountain.
I think we were speaking then on the phone, right? I was in America.
Yeah, you were in America. I was in South Africa going, oh my God, I've never had vertigo in my life. What the hell is happening to me? Because when we're in the woods, we can't see for the trees, can we? And you were like, yeah, Penny, just calm down. And I'm going, no, there is a picture of me on Facebook clinging onto a rock miles away from the edge. But I was so convinced that if I let go of this rock, I'd just fly off. And I'm laughing at it now, but honestly, anybody that's had vertigo, it was not funny in the slightest. In the slightest. So you helped me with that. But also, it's really helped me because I'm fairly judgmental, and from a point of view that we need to be judgmental in order to survive. However, it's really helped me accept how other people have behaved. Now, it doesn't mean to say that I'm condoning their behavior. It means that I've accepted and I've understood perhaps what has gone on in their life. And that, to me, as a practitioner, has given me the whole acceptance and permission for me to sit in a space with people that are murderers and rapists and actually help them, and not dive in and keep myself out of the way. And that, for me, is such a big gift. It's given me permission to look at others, people that have committed crimes, and people that come up on the news all the time, people that act in a very specific way on buses. I've just had an incident on a bus. Well, it wasn't on a bus, I was behind the bus, and somebody was behaving in a very bizarre, constellated way. And rather than me going, oh my God, what is he doing? I went, okay, yeah, I don't need to get involved. That's what's happening with him. So this, to me, is the biggest gift that anybody can give me, for me to take a step back and actually go, okay, that's what's happening. And for me not to get triggered or not get caught into the story and get into them and us. So that's, for me. How's that helped you, darling?
I love that, babe. I love that, Pen. Like, that's beautiful. Like, that's definitely one of the most amazing things for me in this whole mental health journey, really, is sorry about calling you babe there. Came out. Just
he may be constellated. Who knows? You have to come to the workshop to find out.
Right, that's it. But that's one of the things that's been the most amazing is, we see people's behaviours, and we can get hurt by other people's behaviours throughout our life, through in relationships, or just our parents, or people in society, and so much of that we can pin on ourselves. Like, we can blame ourselves, it must be our fault or something. In some way, like you say, we hook into that story, and it becomes a big problem. But then as soon as you start to learn about constellations and you start to play with it, and you like sort of see, wow, this world is a constellated world. Like, everybody's running their own different types of ones to varying degrees. Then it just, like you say, it just helps you to have that different sort of mindset and be like, like, I don't have to play into that. I don't have to react to it. I can understand it, and I can hold a space for them to come back to themselves while they go on their ups and downs. Yeah. And that was amazing. And I absolutely understand your vertigo one. Living in Colorado, went on some pretty epic mountain hikes sometimes, and experienced some of that myself. And it's wonderful to know this stuff. And that was what I wanted to say a little story, if that's all right.
Please.
Yeah. So there was just a little story, and it's about the beauty of knowing this work and how that prepares you for things that, it's better when you're prepared for sort of certain experiences. And, this isn't the story. I'm not going to go into it in loads of detail. It isn't a story I've shared too much, just a few close friends and family and stuff. But, like, I've always had, like, ups and downs that, as we all do, like, the bit of mania, a bit of depression throughout life, and different bouts and stuff. But nothing too extreme. And I have had some family and friends that have had like manic depression, and I've seen how they behave and everything. And then it was funny, like, because a few years back, I went through a couple of events, like a loss of a relationship, and then partnered straight away pretty quickly with a pretty intense argument with a colleague, sort of thing. And it was interesting because it was like I stood up for myself in that. And in the standing up for myself and sort of sharing something back, I went through a really cathartic sort of journey. But I popped myself up into a pretty impressive mania. It was an attack that I didn't see coming. And those of you that sort of understand a little bit of language, you'll know a bit about what that can trigger. And you'll find out more of that on the workshop. But it popped me up into a pretty amazing mania. Of a combination of a couple of different constellations. And the beautiful thing was, like, because I had this wisdom, it was like I was the watcher. So although I knew I was going through this pretty intense and crazy sort of experience, I wasn't as afraid as I could have been if I had no idea of what was going on.
Yeah.
And it was interesting, like bordering on psychosis. And it was just beautiful because I was able to use this work and the healing methods we know to just soften the edges, bring myself into balance, and with conversations with friends, just bring it back into center and sort of come through it on the other side. And the beautiful thing about that for me is it taught me that to have a deeper trust for myself and my own mind. These things aren't wrong. They're all a part of our conscious evolutionary journey. There's a science to understanding them. And the beautiful thing it's like now as I work with clients or I mentor others as you do, and you listen to the stories of clients, you hear in their language all the little arrows that are saying, okay, could be a paranoia persecution constellation going on here, manic aggressive, anxiety, and all megalomania, and all those different ones, and you're starting to hear it, which is helping you to really learn or find the question to ask to help someone to break through their limitations and come into a more sense of wholesome sort of healing energy and really find themselves. So, yeah.
Again, I laughed with you, and again, I laughed with you because I resonate with that, because I was once diagnosed with manic depressive. Now it's called bipolar. The medical people do like to change names and disguise things. And nobody, until I got to Meta, could explain to me what the hell was going on or what triggered it. And so people, coaches that I worked with would constantly just say, so what triggers it? But because I was going through it, I had no idea.
Right, I was Flight of the Navigator. I was in it.
Yeah, and I'm going, well, I didn't even know I was depressed. I thought everybody lived like that. Right. And when I was manic, I thought everybody lived like that. And I couldn't understand why nobody could keep up with me. And it was when I was running companies, John, it was pretty nightmare because my staff hated me. Because I'd be going, come on. Why aren't they working to the speed of me? Not having any understanding about this. And so that mental awareness is far more in constellations than the mental awareness that is talked about in corporate companies. This is far more. We're getting, as John said at the beginning, it's about deep dive to really, truly understand and invite yourself, how you are going through those phases and what's happening with your body, because it's not just mental, it can be other things. Constellations can be things like bulimia, anorexia, diabetes, and truly understand the body and the mind and the body connection. And John is so patient and, as I said, makes it so simple and fun. And I think this is really important, that we take a grasp of a very serious situation and bring that lightheartedness into it, because it could invite us to be triggered, like it does on the practitioner workshops. The amount of times I see people going into constellations when I'm training, and clients come to see, and myself when I was on the workshops, and I just love it. And so the benefits, John, I would say, are any practitioner wanting to become aware, truly aware of the mind and the body connection, take it to the next level. But constellations, not to get too caught up in the right way and the wrong way, but to master the art of finding constellations. And John is a master coach. I'm very humbled to have met him and worked with him. What other benefits, darling?
Mania in a minute.
Yeah. Other benefits for practitioners?
Yeah, lots. So what I really love, and what I know, Penny's a master of, and is you're listening. It's just you develop like a master's ear, if you like, and it's just a deeper sense of listening where you hear them. They'll speak to you. the client symptoms will speak to you, and you'll create a sort of a vision of it, of what's going on for the client, and then learn how to ask really sort of intuitive questions to help them to realize their patterns far quicker and then break through them. And that's what I love, because, you know, sometimes I think as a beginning practitioner, you can be quite worried or scared. What if this comes up? What if that comes up? And I think, you know, knowledge is power, and when you've blended it in, it's become sort of your innate wisdom inside of you. So the way, you know, we love to teach, and I love to teach, is I think it's like preparing a beautiful meal for people. So you prepare a beautiful meal with some really good meat in there that they can really sink their teeth into. But it's really about the conversation that's going on during the meal that really sort of helps them to play with the information and understand it, and make the whole journey really enjoyable, so that when they leave, they leave feeling, you know, uplifted, confident, empowered, and that they can digest what you've just gone over pretty easily. And it's sort of they're able to digest the food that they just ate, if you like. And they're able to utilize that fuel when they're going out and living their life. So that's what I think. Yeah, lots of benefits will come.
Okay. So we're going to invite you to sign up on a form. Are we? Is that a form?
Right. So I think what the best thing is right now, because this is just going to be a shared video, where there may not be some buttons around for them to sort of join a list. So
you can see, ask me about the mind body, ask me about technology. No.
Right.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is, for now, we'll so first of all, this is for anybody who's been trained at mental health practitioner level or above. Doesn't mean you have to have qualified or certified, but you've been trained at that level of above. You're wanting to learn. And then, so basically, we are going to be releasing the registration form very soon, once we've finalized a few details of that, and getting that out to you very soon. Because there's only 10 spaces, we're going to be doing this as a live event. So we're going to be live as a group of 10 people, going through this information. Very interactive. It's going to be very interactive. We're going to have great breakouts, learn the theoretical, play with it, do demonstrations and guided time to apply it. But there's only a small number of people that can fit on it. So soon we'll be launching the registration page. So the best thing to do right now is just to let us know you're interested. And what we'll do is we will, as soon as that registration page is ready, we'll get it straight to you, those that have registered for the list that hey, I'm interested in this Constellations Deep Dive program.
Brilliant.
Right?
See, that's so typical of me in my little constellated state, going, get to the end, get to the end.
I can feel it. I'm like, oh man, we've got like, no.
Get to the end, right? Tie up now. Yeah, and you'll find out why I behave like that.
So the best thing for people to do right now is to email me at johnrobsoncoaching@gmail.com, JON robsoncoaching@gmail.com, and say, you know, hey, I'm interested in the Constellations workshop. Send me more information, and then we'll be in contact with you when it's all ready.
Brilliant.
All right.
And if you're on Facebook, PM either of us. That means private message for those that don't know what PM means. Because I was just asked that today, and I went, oh.
Yeah.
So I can't wait, John. I just love to see you train and love learning from you. So I can't wait. And I really appreciate it. Speak soon, darling.
I'm really looking forward to it, and looking forward to joining everyone on the call and being with you, Penny. So yeah, look forward to seeing you guys, and join us in December.
Take care.